How can you know if you are a psychopath? If you have to ask yourself if you're a narcissist, you are probably not. This logic seems like it could apply to other traits, such as psychopathy, but this is actually not the case. Being able to ask yourself whether you might be a psychopath does not rule out the possibility. So listen carefully to these 12 signs you might be a psychopath. And make sure to watch until number 1, because it's one of the most indicative suggestions we've ever seen. Number 12. You have superficial charm. Do you easily captivate those around you, but without it being genuine? If you have a very charming personality, if you know how to lead intriguing conversations and capture the attention of the crowd, you have a great and very useful quality. However, what links it to psychopathy is lack of sincerity. If you have to pretend to bewitch your immediate environment instead of being your true self, this artificial magnetism could be an indication that you are a psychopath. To add to this, psychopaths are inconsiderate when it comes to the person they're having a discussion with. They may barely let the other person speak, and they have a comeback for any counterargument. Charming others for them is a deliberate and an intentional action that can serve them one way or another. Number 11. You have grandiose senses of self-worth. Believing that you are better or more important than other people can also suggest psychopathy. People differ genetically and in their upbringing and environment from one another, but this does not mean that some are worth more than others. An inflated sense of self-worth and an exaggerated perception of one's qualities and skills is associated with psychopathic tendencies. Do you like bragging about your achievements, and do you see most people as being inferior to yourself? Are you a very opinionated individual, and you are still 100% sure of your talent and competence regardless of what feedback you may receive from your environment? This could mean that you are in the psychopathic spectrum. Number 10. You get bored easily. Do most tasks and activities seem uninteresting to you? People with psychopathic traits do not get excited nor inspired by most things they do. They quickly grow out of projects that the majority of people would find engaging and are not easily entertained. They cannot keep a job for a very long time or carry out tasks they find boring. This extends to an abnormal need for novelty and stimulation and thus reckless risk-taking. To give you an example, if at work you are assigned a report that you have to submit on a weekly basis, already on the first or the second week, you will find this task interminable and just abandon it. Consequences are of no concern to you, as there is no force in this world that can make you follow through something so dull. Number 9. You are deceitful. Being dishonest is another quality linked to psychopathy. Psychopaths do not hesitate to invent a story or deceive those around them. What is more, they do it as brilliantly as Mozart played the piano. They skillfully use the information at their disposal to twist the truth and deceive others. It is typical that they do not show the slightest trace of remorse or shame when the lie is revealed and they are confronted about it. Instead, they readily have a response, some sort of explanation that they mask in complex terminology to impress others and to throw them off guard. Does this sound like you? Number 8. You manipulate people. Do you use people to your advantage without giving it a second thought? Readily manipulating people for your personal gain without any regard for their feelings or situation is one of the classic signs of psychopathy. Psychopaths do not feel remorse or guilty conscience for intentionally harming others and will go to any lengths to obtain what they want. They see people as a means to an end rather than human beings, quite like a chess player sees the pieces on the board. For instance, you may steal an idea from a coworker during an innocent conversation and later use it as yours to obtain financial benefits or recognition from your superiors. Number 7. You lack empathy. Another sign that you could be a psychopath is the inability to show empathy. Empathy is defined by Cambridge Dictionary as the ability to understand and share other people's feelings and problems. It is a crucial aspect of normal human functioning, as we humans are social animals. Empathy allows us to feel what others feel, to become closer to them by sharing thoughts and emotions, and to care for each other. A sign that you lack empathy is the inability to genuinely relate to others and to imagine what it must be like to be in their place. By the way, if you're finding this video valuable so far, then make sure to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And why not subscribe so you can keep learning more? It's free. Number 6. You have a parasitic lifestyle. Being financially independent and in charge of your life is what most people strive for. One small exception is psychopaths, though. People with psychopathic traits do not mind and even prefer living off someone else. They may play on other people's feelings of duty or empathy and ruthlessly take financial advantage of them. Moreover, this parasitic lifestyle is not solely limited to finances. Psychopaths would eagerly put the burden of organizing their lives on others, as they lack self-discipline and motivation. So there's some food for thought for you. Are you independent in life, or do you unjustifiably pass on the responsibility for your future to others? If so, do you feel remorse for burdening them? Number 5. You are impulsive and you have trouble controlling your behavior. Do you find yourself unable to keep your emotions in check? If a coworker has an annoying habit of clicking with their pen, does it drive you crazy up to the point where you lash out at them? Poor behavioral control is typical of individuals with psychopathic tendencies. It may manifest itself as irritability, impatience, dysfunctional emotional regulation, or even threats and overt aggression. Psychopaths are extremely impulsive and take rash decisions as they are unable to plan properly or resist momentary impulses. They are also unconcerned with consequences. Number 4. You have many romantic partners. How do you treat your partners? Do you like being in a long-term relationship, or do you prefer light romances and quickly moving on to the next person? Having a lot of partners per se does not mean one is a psychopath. However, if this tendency occurs with other signs mentioned in this video, it helps create the profile of a typical psychopath. What is the threshold between bad luck in dating and psychopathy, though? Psychopaths are bound to easily get tired of being in a relationship, and they cannot keep a long-term partner. Often, they have many sexual partners, even a few at a time, and cannot commit to a serious relationship. They are very unreliable as a partner and take pride in the number of people they sleep with, frequently boasting about their conquests. Number 3. You don't accept responsibility for your actions. Responsibility is an extremely valued quality in any aspect of life, and an easy giveaway for signs of psychopathy. People with psychopathic traits refuse to accept responsibility in a wide range of activities. For example, they are often late or absent from work without a respectable reason. They do not abide by deadlines or rules that other people would follow, are likely to have low performance at work, and are late with basic things such as paying the bills. Psychopaths tend to deny responsibility and manipulate others to avoid consequences. They have very low conscientiousness and no sense of duty or obligation. They can easily stand someone up for lunch or not show up for a presentation that the group depends on. Do you see yourself easily fitting this description? Number 2, you lack a goal in life. Are you unconcerned with your future, and do you find planning your life tedious and annoying? When you do plan something, do you stick to it, or do you often abandon it and change projects? It is characteristic of psychopaths to not have a direction in life. They lead rather nomadic lifestyles and cannot pursue long-term goals that require planning and devotion. Do not worry though, we all have moments in our life where we wander around and try to find our passion. But it is exactly this need for an objective that distinguishes most people from the ones with psychopathic tendencies. Due to the psychopath's impulsivity and lack of responsibility, the persistence and commitment that are required to work towards a steady objective are impossible for them to maintain. Number 1, you have a criminal record. This may seem kind of obvious, but a lot of psychopaths have had one or several encounters with law enforcement at some point in their life. For some of them, it started in their adolescence, but for others, it came later in life. Of course, not everyone who has psychopathic attributes is bound to become a criminal, but the likelihood of it occurring is increased. This is due to their refusal to abide by set rules, the impulsive and deceitful nature of psychopaths, and their disposition to ruthlessly manipulate and use people. Another useful indication is that psychopaths are proud of breaking the law and getting away with it. And if you liked this video, then check out these related videos to see more. And make sure to like this video to let the algorithm know you'd like to see more videos like these.